always, is get that clay right up there. Because also, you know, when you get this as thin as you want it to be, sometimes it's too weak to make this. So you have to think about that. And sometimes, now, I want the bottom to go in a little bit like it did in my picture. So I'm just going to do that. So really it's, actually I could let you feel it. Like, feel, wet your hand, Claire's, and feel what's here and then what's there. Like, yeah. See that? So it's not solid clay under here. That's a ledge. So that it's all set up for me to then I hold two fingers like this, so I'm supporting the wall. Let me get it a little bit more moist. And I take the side of my thumb. Now, some people enjoy using a tool like this. They take that down. But somehow that doesn't work for me. But if you think it'll work for you, go ahead. I just use the side of my thumb, and I'm taking about 1/3 of the clay that's there is what I'm taking down. And you just have to tell it, go down, clay.
So you go straight down.
Yeah. Now the other thing, and then I take this finger and sort of make that inner edge nice. It doesn't need to be huge, you know, you just want that little, but then this plane, see that plane right there? That plane cannot go in. That plane must go out a little bit, because you know as it dries, it can trap your lid. So I also like, you know, a fairly deep flange, because I want my lid to nestle. I want my lid to just be a little bit below this upper edge, because that looks really nice when it's right there. So I'm going to take this off, and now I'll make some different kinds of lids. And you'll see when I'm going to give you a handout on this tomorrow of all the different kinds of lids, but I don't have enough yet. Betsy's going to make copies. So I'm just getting my surface how I want it, that little thing down there. Okay. Wire under.
You need another wear board?
Want to use this?
Sure. Thanks. Oh, usually, one thing I forgot, usually I measure before I take my pot off with my calipers. I got another pair, thank you. Because, why do we measure, let me see if I can center it a little bit. Why do we measure try-to before we take our pot off? Because if you just put that in there, you don't know that you're right in the middle. You really don't. But if this was centered and I'm going around, that's the way you want to take your measurement, because you know exactly where you are. And these things always have a tendency to move. I've probably said this before. So once I get my measurement, I put some clay there and make sure that it can't move. And then I take my measurement again. You cannot measure too many times. And I'm measuring right in that bottom little corner. Might be a little big. You can leave a hair's worth of space, you know what I'm saying? Okay.
So that's the first time I've ever heard to measure it with the calipers as it's spinning. That's such a great idea.
Yeah, I really
That's
think
really a good
it's
tip.
helped me, yeah, because so often, especially with the bigger thing, you're on there with your calipers and you're not in the right place and you don't know it. But when it's moving, you know for sure. Especially like with a big casserole. Okay. So I throw lids off the hump, and the first one I'll do is that little simple bowl, shallow bowl. The main thing that I've seen that people do wrong is they make their lids too high. So they're like little bowler hats sitting up there that don't really fit homogeneously with the curve of the pot. So you can see that on this little pot. It's a very gentle, subtle sort of curve. So you'll need very little clay. Can you see? Going off the hump. And the first thing I do when I get the clay up there is mark with my finger and my knuckle how much clay I'm going to be using. And this might be even too much, but we'll see. And the second thing is I want to make sure that my little centered piece is narrower than my calipers. Because if you have a piece that's wide, you open and you're automatically already too big. You want to be able to open out to that piece. Does it make sense?
Sure.
So I'm just going down less than a digit. There's my digit. I'm going down about that much to my little floor. And then I'm going to open. Now, one of the problems with throwing off the hump, and I'm just making a shallow little straight bowl. One of the problems is you tend to get S-cracks. So it's very important that you go back and forth in your bottom and really compress that clay. And also the other thing is this is your lip. Somehow lips on lids of jars tend to crack or break or whatever. And of course you don't want that. So don't make it real thin. Plump it up if you can. So I'm pretty darn close, which is a good thing. So I'll just do one more pull from under, from where I'm attached there. I have enough clay, so I'll just come out a little bit more. And you see that I'm coming out, I'm not coming out and going like this, because that will give me the bowler top. I'm just coming out in this shallow, nice thing. And she's right on the money. That's my lucky day. And then, again, you know, you can take your clay off. Now, people have a lot of trouble often getting pots off the hump. I like to put a swirl in the bottom of my upside down. I didn't even say, Clarice, I hope you understand that I'm throwing this lid upside down.
Oh, I knew that.
Okay, good.
I did figure that out.
Okay. So it'll help you to get your lid off if you bend over and take your tool and make a really nice channel. Can you see that channel?
Yeah.
That is so going to help you. And then my method for taking it off evenly is that I only move one hand. One hand stays totally steady. This is the hand that's going to move. So I go down there slowly. I see where I am, and I just move one hand.